gotta ask, seen some people say it. You think the cannon looks like a penis?
No.
If it does, who cares?
Get your head out of the gutter.
Even
I've
better.
seen every cock on the
That
planet.
genuinely
Hockey is for everyone.
did not cross my mind at any point.
Stadium Series jerseys out, and we've been hyping this for a while. We've been hoping that it would be certain things, and they are here. Sean, just throw anything on the screen that you would like to throw on the screen. We can get into the breakdown later, but if you want to just give us a glimpse of either the Red Wings or the Blue Jackets.
No preference on where we start?
Start with the Blue Jackets.
Yeah. So I was very, very nervous about this jersey reveal, and I didn't want to be like super upfront about it because I love both teams, but I've been open about I don't love the Blue Jackets branding. I've never really truly loved a Blue Jackets jersey, and when the Red Wings do specialty jerseys, they don't fucking try. They don't try because they hate messing with their jerseys, and I don't blame them. Why mess with perfection? But goddamn, if I don't love both of these jerseys for their own separate reasons. Let's start with the Blue Jackets one. The cannon being massive. Obviously, you guys have to love that.
Cannon
I love it.
Boys mount up. This was
Happy birthday, Sean, indeed.
I have been
It's like they listened and they were like, okay, one of these guys wants the cannon and the other one wants it huge. Huge cannon, and they delivered.
Yeah, this is everything. I mean, I'll just get like the solitary complaint out of the way. I was desperate for some electric green, for some stinger green in there. So that's the one thing that I think they missed out on. Not the jersey still rocks though, and my biggest thing is that I love there's a good chance that outside of the Sabres, the jersey that I'm wearing right now, the actual Blue Jackets cannon jersey is my favorite hockey jersey of all time. So them leading into the cannon is.
I could not be more on board, but with the take that like a little electric green trim on this would make it kind of elevate a little bit more. Dude. Like right under that red stripe, that electric green accent would be amazing. My theory on why the electric green was not included is maybe that it would make it look too much like a University of Michigan jersey when you're doing the navy
I said that
blue.
the other day. Yeah.
Really?
I wanted it to just be like blue and green. If you're at Ohio Stadium and you're just doing blue and a yellowy color.
Yeah, for sure. I think
especially when you're playing the Red Wings who are going red and white, which is close to Ohio State.
Yes.
It would look like kind of a jersey swap of the two teams.
I think the presence of the red on these jerseys allows them to incorporate some electric green and still get away with it. Again, not that mad about it.
My main fear, and this popped up in the last few days because none of us had really thought about it. We were like, what if they lean into Ohio State? Do not want that. You're playing the Red Wings. Let them do red. And I didn't need it to be super cannon based. Obviously, Sean drove the bus on that drove the cannon based and did a great job. I wanted it to be more stinger based, but I wanted it to be big stuff. I wanted it to be blue as heck, blue and white with a little electric green accent. This checks a lot of those boxes, even though that electric green isn't there. This is mainly blue and silver. That shit shimmer.
The silver rocks.
Silver rocks. Oh my gosh.
I gotta ask, seen some people say it. You think the cannon looks like a penis?
No.
If it does, who cares?
Get your head out of the gutter.
Even
I've
better.
seen every cock on the planet.
That genuinely
Hockey is for everyone.
did not cross my mind at any point. If trying to decide how tactful I want to be about how I say it. If yours looks like that, you need to see a doctor. All I'll say is the hole at the end is far too big for that to.
It's not supposed to look like that.
You're not supposed to shove stuff in there. Stop doing that.
That looks. I'd never seen that like overhead kind of shot of it. Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Oh, brother, these under the stadium lights are gonna. Oh,
so we're gonna get to after we go through both of these teams. Which jersey and which player jersey is the most desirable, but that thing is going to work so well at the game. That's going to work year round. That's gonna be a great jersey to rock every winter. It's a little holiday-y. It's got a little bit of the shimmer. It's got a little bit of the lights. You got the blue for the Hanukkah. You got the red for Christmas. This thing's got utility, baby.
I feel like this has a really weird but palatable mix between looking sort of like a throwback, but also being very modern and like kind of cutting edge. And I don't know if it's like the modern element is the design in the silver, and like the logo reminds me of like a retro logo. But I love it all. I do. I think they did an awesome job with
think
this.
that regardless of what team you are, if you're making a jersey for an event like this where people are going to be watching it from far away and watching it on TV, you want to be true to your colors. You want to do things big, and you want to have a little flair. This hits all of those amazing. And I initially really thought I would have a hard time getting over no stinger incorporation. But now you got a lot of people saying like, hey, it's not very stingery. It is boomery, which is their other mascot, who isn't as cool as Stinger, but still, I love it. Sean, do we want to throw up we have these the breakdowns and everything? I've got one that I want to walk through some of the finer points.
Do you want
of this?
Yours?
The real one, please.
Okay, well now
The real one is mine.
Okay.
So huge numbers, always great. The shimmer on the sleeve, I love. It's very new LA Kings jersey. It's obviously very Vegas Golden Knights. The letters on the jersey, the A or the C, you see Zach Werenski up there, has the outline of Ohio. I did not know what the outline of Ohio is. That's helpful. Makes you smarter.
I thought you meant that the A in the letters were helpful to identify which players are important. But I think both could work. And I do love a custom captain's patch. Like when the Wild did it for their outdoor game with the outline of Minnesota, I thought it was the best part of that jersey. I thought they were unbelievable. They did a really good job here. I only wish that maybe it wasn't just the outline of Ohio. I think that maybe I would have liked it more.
They could,
with a full red patch.
That would be very Minnesota Wild coded, though, wouldn't it?
It would. I think they'd face accusations.
Okay, and there's no accusations here. Again, like I said, like they're just doing their thing the best they can do it.
The sad thing is that we're not going to get a C in. We're not like the C jersey's not going to exist.
Because Boone Jenner?
Yeah. And that'd be so perfect for Columbus, the C in Ohio, and they're not going to get it.
I'm sure Boone Jenner will get a jersey.
That's true.
The massive cannon, amazing. Doesn't have a crest. I'll say, when you're doing it that big, I don't want a crest. I would not want that to have a circle behind it or an outline of something behind it, just because that would take away from how big you can actually make the cannon. They made this cannon take over the jersey in the best way possible.
Yep.
I mean, that's one of my favorite parts about outdoor jerseys is that by virtue of it being in a football/baseball stadium, they have to make things big so you can see them. And a lot of times that can be a little weird, but I think it works very well here.
And then the last thing I want to note, Sean, if you could move us out of the way. I guess it still, what I sent somehow got cropped. Anyway, they're not doing the red pants like they usually do. With their white jerseys, they have red pants. With their blue jerseys, they have red pants. Here, they're doing a black color rush type of thing, but they do have the star in there to keep with what you normally have on their jerseys. This is very, very thoughtful. They have kind of thought of everything for this. I think it's such a win.
Yep. I mean, I don't think it's a 10 out of 10. I think it is better than I expected. I'm very impressed, and I'm very excited to have my hands on one of them.
I love them wholeheartedly. I think they're like a 9.5 out of 10.
Do you like them more than the current Cannon jersey that you're wearing, the faux back?
No, I don't think so. I just love the cream on these jerseys. That one's tough. As I mentioned though, like on these jerseys, if the gray on these jerseys with the silver that they had on the Stadium Series jerseys, I think that's like the one change I would make. This all did make me think though. We are hopefully going to get the Cannon outside in a place that it's supposed to be.
Very Raymond James coded.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I think you got to make the actual cannon bigger. I think if you have a cannon inside a small arena and you're moving the game to a bigger stadium, a much bigger stadium, I think you got to keep the proportions the same. You got to have a giant cannon.
I mean, that cannon would literally be like a full-blown, like, I don't know if they could legally have that. It's like only the U.S. military has weapons that size.
You got to contract one.
It would be like a legitimate, like, anti-aircraft missile.
Got to do it. Don't care.
Make it happen. We got to solve crime.
No fly zone over Columbus.
If you have a big ass cannon out there, there's no crime happening at this NHL event. If you could throw that back up, Sean, for one last thing. We have to note that Kirill Marchenko is just the most wonderful man in the world. So he's handsome. And that's the last little detail on that. There isn't one thing on this. Like my preference obviously was to do a Stinger jersey. But there isn't a detail of this jersey that I look at and say, I wish that there could be less of that or take that away. So while I don't ultimately give this, I said 10 out of 10 earlier as an expression, while I probably give it like a flat 9.0, that's well earned.
I do love that CBJ shoulder patch. That looks great.
That is a very good shoulder patch. I wish they did something a little more interesting with their helmets. You can't really see it all that well here, but they just put a number on the side, which when we talk about the Detroit one, Detroit got a little crazy with their helmet.
Okay, let's get to Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit's jersey is a lot simpler, so
True.
they needed something to really spice it up. I don't think that doing a helmet for Columbus would have served them well because the attention should be on the jersey. And for Detroit, they went super simple, which you knew that they probably were going to. I got to say, for the Red Wings, I think this is the most that I could like a Red Wings jersey or uniform as a whole without the logo being prominently displayed. Because we all know they have the best logo in all of hockey. If you're not slapping that on there front and center, you got to really do something and basically everything well to make up for it. I love this look top to bottom.
So do you like this better than the throwback to the Detroit Cougars where it was just a D?
Yeah.
I think that this is so much better than that.
So much better.
I think so too.
Yeah, I agree with Pete. This is for sure the best non-Red Wings logo Red Wings jersey we've seen.
My only complaint is not really Detroit specific. I just hate when alternate jerseys have the main normal logo as a shoulder patch because it makes it look incredibly AHL to me.
Let's get back. Okay, let's stick with that and go to my breakdown of these Red Wings jerseys because I think, that's the fake breakdown.
They can't see it anyways.
That's okay. There we go. All right. I think that it's the greatest shoulder patch ever. To be able to put the Red Wings logo on your shoulder is such an unbelievable flex. Most notably here, they did the Michigan.
Yeah, it's a flex if you play in the American Hockey League because that's a great accomplishment.
I would flex if I played in the American
So
Hockey
would I.
League. Biggest thing is they did the Michigan with the helmet, where they did the stripes and shit. It's obviously not it's not a Michigan helmet, but this is clearly inspired by a Michigan helmet.
Yeah, and I was worried that their helmets would basically just be the Michigan football helmet with the Wolverine type design. I'm glad they didn't do that. I saw a lot of people saying they didn't like the massive wings on the side of the helmet. Shut the fuck up.
Love it.
My
so
only
good.
complaint is that the wing it just stops very suddenly here. I want the rest of the wing to wrap.
Oh, no,
See
but
what
it
I'm
means that the eye of the wing is their actual eye.
But then why do they have more than just the wing? It clearly starts the wheel, but they just chop it off right here above the eyebrow. It should the rest of the wheel here should continue.
No, I think
or you move it down a little bit so the wing it should just be the wing. It shouldn't be showing any part of this wheel.
I love this helmet. I'm very
generally,
love
yeah,
it, and
sick.
I can be a little bit of a helmet policeman with when teams mix up their helmets. Really, I just don't like the all shiny. I like when they do matte stuff, but I think that some of the creativity with helmets can lead teams down a bad road. I think that the Red Wings did a great job here. An interesting thing for me is the nameplate, because this jersey and uniform to me ultimately feels like a bit of a collage in which it has things that are kind of inconsistent with one another, and it somehow looks good to me. That's a good shot, Sean, thank you, of Lucas Raymond, where they do the Flyers two-toned jersey nameplate. I feel like that is not what the front of this jersey would call for.
Yeah.
But it looks like they just kind of threw together a bunch of different parts and they just look cool as hell. Almost like the Red Wings font.
Yeah, that is true. Where the Red Wings font uses like 3 typefaces. I would agree with that assessment where it kind of looks like a serial killer note where they cut out the magazine letters.
Right.
But somehow it works. And I've seen people say that they don't like the stripe down the middle of the helmet. They like the wings, not the stripe. I like the stripe. Like it's a like a racing stripe. It kind of reminds me of like a nod to the Motor City. It also reminds me a little bit more of like a college football helmet, which I like, and I do like the contrasting nameplate. I sort of get what Sean's saying though with the shoulder patch. It does remind me of like either an AHL
It's a very
jersey
affiliate
where like they slap the logo on for the affiliate, or like an all-star jersey where it's just noting what team a player is representing. I think I'd like it more if they either didn't do the Red Wings logo or if they did it on both shoulders and not the Stadium Series patch.
Or on the pants or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably
I do
go
like
with it on the
Hockey
pants.
Town being on the pants.
That's my favorite detail of the whole thing.
Hockey Town on the pants is great. And it feeds to the collage thing because does that look like it goes with the scripture of Detroit there?
Yeah, I think it does.
Oh, no way.
That's like textbook design. Is you get like a fancy font and then you have a very simple sans serif font that goes with it. Like those fonts definitely go together, I think.
Okay, so I was more thinking, and that's a good point. I was more thinking that I could see that on something in the 60s or like the 50s, the script.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
And I don't think it would be accompanied by, or I don't think it would be paired with the more sans serif thing. But again, these are all things, even if it strikes me as like more collage-y, it's a collage that looks good.
Yeah.
And the last note, car shit, it says there. Hopefully people can see and zoom or whatever.
I sent you a photo that has it more clearly outlined, I believe.
But on the lettering of the numbers, really just the numbers, I suppose, it is, and actually on the Detroit, it's got like the kind of car upholstery thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the stitching, it looks like Braille, quite frankly. And it is such a nice touch. It's basically their version of how the Chicago Blackhawks did the like pinstripes on their numbers.
That's like the jersey nerd stuff where when you see it up close, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like the pinstripe numbers on the Winter Classic jerseys were incredible. And these, I love what they did with the upholstery thing. Sean, I'm going to send you a picture just so you can throw it up because it is a very fantastic detail. And I know that we are overly critical of when teams have these like explainers that really don't make sense and they're reaching. It doesn't feel like they're reaching on any of these sort of jersey explainers.
No. I think that both of these jerseys rate really highly. And when these teams meet and play in these jerseys, oh boy, it's not going to be like the Winter Classic where it's good team with bad jersey versus terrible team with great jersey. This is going to be interesting team with awesome jersey versus interesting team with awesome jersey. Oh my gosh, Sean.
Oh, brother, that looks great.
Isn't that, like, seriously, that Braille, though, it looks so good. And you even see
technically speaking, not Braille because it's embossed or I don't know. I don't know how to use those.
Would Braille be
Braille
embossed?
is raised.
Yeah, so that's raised.
These are indents. These are holes.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And chat raises a good point, too, about the nameplate thing on the back. The Red Wings don't use actual nameplates.
Yeah.
Which maybe, I don't know, like here's a theory. Maybe it's a nod to like, oh, we're taking the nameplate from the actual jersey that you've earned and we're going to stitch it onto the back. Like maybe that's the reason behind it. I am not really sure.
The interesting thing about it is I think it confines the nameplate a lot and it's going to make it a lot harder to read.
Yes, that was
from
a
a
concern
distance.
For me. Yeah, Sean, if you could come to me. Yeah, this goes just right on here. I didn't even notice that, but it makes all the sense in the world because they're so solid about all their stuff.
Well, did you know like during preseason, the Red Wings players do not get like the real font that goes on the jerseys? Like they don't get the stitched names. They get basically a fake nameplate and you have to earn your regular season jersey.
That is so forced. I like when you have an actual thing to like when there's certain teams that have like pinstripes or like they don't put the logo on the helmet or whatever, but like going out of your way to make a fake nameplate so somebody can't have like just don't put the name on it at all and then make them earn the nameplate.
Let's get to the best detail either of these jerseys had. Sean, if you would do me the honor, please. That octopus, though. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean,
yes.
This is my first reaction to this was fuck yeah. My second reaction to this is why don't Columbus have a Stinger version of this?
Yeah, 100%.
But this is like one of the best little Easter eggs on a jersey I've ever seen.
My third reaction to it was, why don't they make the whole thing the octopus?
You're alone in that one, brother.
No, an octopus jersey would go. It would be ridiculous. I think that
It'd be ridiculous because it'd be purple.
I do like that the Red Wings are kind of like, listen, we've heard your feedback. We're gonna lean into the octopus a little bit,
Maybe a little
but
bit.
in a little tasteful
Yes,
way.
we're gonna give you crumbs.
Yeah, we're gonna be tasteful about it, but we hear you. We know you want octopus. Here you go.
They just need to put that motherfucker back up in the rafters.
Pass that puss, baby.
We all silly like the mayor.